Phoebe, it's about time you start listening to me. If you don't start working, I'll be moving in with you and my son. If you don't stop lazing around and getting a job, I won't move in with you. But you can start sending me $750 a month to look after me. I'm not getting any younger, you know. If you don't promise me one way or another, I'll see to it that your wedding to my son Kevin next month gets cancelled. You hear me? Cancelled. So what's it going to be, young lady?
Ugh, are you really harping on about this again? I made this clear before, but it didn't seem to go in. So allow me to repeat myself. You have no right to cancel my wedding. As for sending you money, I've discussed the matter at length with Kevin, and he says I don't have to.
Fine, I'll move in with you both then.
No, you won't. I'm still working just like always.
Huh? I thought you'd been at home this whole time since you got engaged 3 months ago. Basically, you're using the wedding as an opportunity to become a stay-at-home housewife so you never have to work again. You lazy daughter of a garbage man. Don't think you can lie to me, young lady. Your house is a 3-minute walk from mine, so it's very easy for me to check whether you're trying to pull the wool over my eyes.
No, I explained this to you before the engagement too, but once again, it seems like it was in one ear and out the other. I'm a freelancer, which means I can work wherever I like. From home, in a cafe, in a restaurant. I've never had to go into any kind of office, so you wouldn't necessarily see me leave the house. I do sometimes to go meet up with clients from time to time, but the same still applies.
I see. So you're doing perfectly fine for money then, are you? In that case, you're to start sending me $750 a month like I asked. Forget what Kevin says. I'm your mother-in-law. And it's your job as a wife to do as I tell you. My word is final.
Forgive me, I have an online meeting starting soon.
Huh? An online meeting? What's that?
Goodbye.
How dare you ignore the requests of your mother-in-law? It's looking more and more likely that you're going to turn out to be a problem bride. You're going to have to do something about this attitude of yours if you're going to marry my son. This just won't do. Kevin, listen, son. I need to talk to you about something very important. It's about Phoebe. Are you sure she's really the woman you want to marry? You only get to do this once. Are you sure you've really thought it through?
Huh? Mom? Why are you asking me that all of a sudden? Obviously, I've thought it through. We're engaged. I love her and want to spend my life with her. Why can't you just be happy for me and accept that?
I'm just worried you might be making the wrong decision, that's all. What kind of mother would I be if I didn't worry about you, Kevin? Even if it comes to divorce, I want you to know that I'll always be here to help you. Find a more suitable wife. Never forget that, honey. Please, won't you just rethink things one last time? Do it for me? It would fill my old heart with joy if you canceled the engagement, son.
Wow. You have got to be freaking joking me. Who actually says that to their own son? No, wait. Wait a sec. You're not bullying my fiancé, are you? Have you said anything to her?
Huh?
Dad and I have warned you countless times by now, but I know how stubborn you can be. You seem convinced she's bad news despite the fact you've barely even spoken to her. Why can't you just give her a chance? In any case, you need to stop acting like this. You better not be saying any of this to her, because that's bullying, plain and simple. I'll never forgive you if I find out you have. And really, Mom, is this the kind of person you want to be?
What are you talking about? The person I want to be? No, Kevin, you're the one who needs to know what kind of person Phoebe is. You need to stop lying to yourself and accept her true colors. If you have until next month's wedding to back out of this, so how about you try and considering yours and this family's reputation for a change and do the right thing? That girl has a black heart. I want you to start paying attention to the way she behaves, the way she spends money, and what she does on a day-to-day basis. You'll be amazed by what you notice if you stop burying your head in the sand.
I see. Sorry, Mom. I have to get back to work now. Catch you later.
2 days before the wedding.
Phoebe, are you cheating on my son? I saw you the day before yesterday. That was no way that was a regular shopping trip with your dressed in that suit.
You're right, it wasn't a shopping trip. I had an in-person meeting with a long-term client who's been giving me work since before I can remember. So, naturally, I wanted to look the part, which is why I wore my suit.
Aha, I've gotcha. You said you work from home. Caught in a lie. So you're having an affair with your client?
No! He asked me to meet him at his company office, so business wear was the obvious choice. Which is why I went in my suit. Pajamas would have been a little rude, don't you think? Anyway, the point is that it was just a work meeting and nothing more.
But it is the truth. I wonder.
It's the truth. I have another work meeting to attend soon, so if you'll forgive me.
If you're telling the truth, you won't mind proving it, will you? Go on. I'll wait. If you can prove it, I'll believe you. And me and you can forget this ever happened. Well, would you look at that? The fact you still haven't provided me with any proof of this work meeting of yours means you must be cheating on my son. You filthy harlot! I'm having the wedding cancelled, you hear me? Cancelled. I suppose I'd better deliver Kevin the news too. Oh dear, this is gonna crush him. I hope you're proud of yourself, woman. It's a shame I have to do this right before the wedding, but at least we finally got to see your true colors. Phew! Talk about dodging a bullet. Kevin, I have proof Phoebe's cheating on you. You have to cancel the wedding this weekend. Be a darling and call it off as soon as you get this, won't you? They could charge you extra if you leave it too long. I can't believe it. Talk about cutting it close. You were days away from making the worst decision of your life. I'm just so pleased I found out. Even if it was days before the wedding, I know it's gonna be hard on you canceling everything you had planned, but it's better this way. At least now you can take her to court for compensation. That should go some way to ease the burden. Ah, yes, that reminds me. What with the wedding been cancelled now? You won't have any plans this weekend, will you? I think we should go on a holiday to celebrate. How does California sound? I've always wanted to try hot springs there. I hope we're able to find somewhere to stay at such short notice. Don't worry, of course I'll book yours and your dad's spots too. How long has it been since we all went on a family holiday together? Oh, I'm so excited. It's gonna be great. Kevin, haven't you arrived at the inn I booked yet? We've had the reservation since yesterday, so I'm worried about you, honey. Why aren't you responding to my texts or answering my calls? The view from the open-air jacuzzi attached to our room is to die for. This place is incredible. I feel like a queen. Ah, there you are. You had me worried sick, young man. What time will you be getting here?
You're free to enjoy the Californian hot springs by yourself.
Huh? What?
I'm in the middle of my wedding right now.
What?
The service at the church just drew to a close, which means we're officially married. We're just about to head to the banquet.
Wait, what? Are you telling me you didn't cancel it like I told you?
Obviously not. I had no reason to do that.
But I told you about Phoebe's affair. Oh God, did you forgive her?
Affair? You mean that thing about seeing her out in town wearing a suit?
That's right. She tried to pull the wool over our eyes by playing it off as some kind of work meeting, but she was meeting up with her lover. I just know it.
I was with her at that work meeting.
What? You were?
I told you before that we originally met through me being one of her regular clients, right? I'd offer her translation work, which she, being a freelance translator, would accept. Well, my company had a fresh project for her. So it only made sense that I tag along for the meeting to ensure she was fully up to speed on, and understood, the project specifications. Surely you're not going to carry on clinging to this insane affair theory when her own husband is giving her an alibi. Can we just put this to bed already?
What the? But I was certain.
If you're so against our wedding that you go to such ridiculous lengths to try and stop it from going ahead, I'm actually glad you're not here. I have no interest in forcing you to celebrate something you don't feel you can support.
But Kevin...
The banquet's about to start now, and hot damn, the pizza looks delicious. So if you'll kindly excuse me...
Phew! Thank goodness I made it. I wasn't able to have your wedding canceled due to the affair in the end. But when I realized there was one more reason it shouldn't go ahead, I'm so pleased I got on the first flight home to crash it. I've got you all figured out, Phoebe. The only reason you're interested in marrying my son Kevin is because you're after his huge salary, isn't it? The jig is up, young lady. I can read you like a book, so you may as well just admit it and make this easier on yourself. Thank God I made it in time to get to the banquet hall and get up on stage to grab the mic off the host and tell the whole world your true intentions. Everyone sees your true colors now. And we're all disgusted with you. Disgusted.
Listen, Wilma. What exactly gave you the idea that the only reason I'm with your son is because I'm after his money?
You told me you work from home. I made it very clear that if you were working, you had a duty to send me $750 every month to help with my living costs. The fact that you kept stubbornly refusing made it as plain as day that you were poor, even if you have a job. I only had to put 2 and 2 together to realize you had your sights on my poor son's wallet. You can't deny it now. I know everything, and there's nothing I can figure out, because I'm smart, very smart. This was my last chance to save my son's future before any hope he had at happiness was destroyed forever. I did what I had to do and exposed your true colors to the world at your wedding banquet. You hate me, but if you search deep in your heart, you'll know this is what's best for Kevin. I might have been thrown out by security, but I did what I came to do. So what happened after that? Surely the wedding got called off. When everyone heard what you're really like.
I see. You're right. I'm pleased. With this, we can finally divorce now. Thanks for giving me a concrete reason to go through with the divorce. I've been wanting to do this for a while.
Huh? Putting on a bold font, are we?
No, that's what your husband just told me to tell you. He stood right next to me.
Huh? My husband? What?
We finished the banquet as planned after you left. The food was delicious and everyone had a great time. Your little interruption actually made it more memorable in a sense. Me and Kevin have no intention of divorcing.
No, you have to be joking me. Why am I the one getting divorced here? Kevin, how could you stand by and watch while this happens to your poor mother? You're horrible. I've been telling you how awful that girl Phoebe is for what feels like forever now, but you never listened to me, not even once. Is this what I get for giving birth to you, for raising you?
Your accusations were all nonsense! Just like everything else you said about my wife.
Nonsense?
I've already explained why this supposed affair is a load of rubbish. So I'm not going to go out of my way to explain it again if you don't understand by now. But the idea that she only married me simply because she wants my money is pure fantasy. Plain and simple. It's honestly the most ridiculous thing I've heard in my whole life.
Which part is fantasy?
Phoebe makes $150,000 a year.
$150K?
Basically, she brings in 4 times as much money as me.
4 times?
I won't go into too much detail, because she probably wouldn't want me revealing her private work details. But she's one of the top performers in the translation industry, and is hugely popular with a lot of very influential people. To put it simply, she's the best at what she does.
If she's that rich, why did she always refuse to send me money?
You were already in the wrong at the point you decided to beg my wife for money.
What?
I mean, seriously, who pesters their son's wife for money? Who actually does that? Have you no shame? Let's face it, the only reason you were so intent on her being the devil and so committed to destroying her reputation is because she had the guts to say no to your absurd demands.
But...
No buts! I'm cutting you out of my life once and for all!
What? No, please!
To tell you the truth, we already moved house.
You moved house? Where to? Tell me your address at once. This can't be happening. Please, son, don't do this to your poor aged old mother. I can't get by without you. Won't you reconsider? Besides, did you only just move right before the wedding? It was only a 3-minute walk from my house. The location was perfect. It's barely been half a year since you moved in. Why would you leave already?
That was just an apartment Phoebe had been renting since before we met. I was only staying there with her temporarily, until we found somewhere new to start our married life in.
Oh my goodness.
It was only down to a coincidence that she happened to have an apartment near your house in the first place. Funnily enough, it was actually where we got onto the topic of how close together our houses were after linking up for a work meeting one day, that we started discussing our private lives and grew closer.
But I only started seeing her around town around the time you two got engaged.
That's probably just because you didn't know her before then. You were hardly going to recognize a stranger, were you? I bet you walked past each other dozens of times. It was the same for me, too.
Really? Could it be?
Looks like we went off topic. To get back to the point, I'm cutting you out of my life forever, Mom! I'm not going to tell you where we live. And I'll be taking every last possible measure to ensure you never find our address.
Wait, please! Your father seems ready to divorce me, Kevin. I can't bear to lose you too. Please, don't do this to your poor aged mother.
It's not that Dad seems ready to divorce you. He absolutely, beyond any shadow of a doubt, is going to divorce you. With 100% certainty. He literally could not be more committed to getting rid of you. It's not for me to get involved in that. So just make sure you do what his lawyer says.
Kevin!
If you'll excuse me, Phoebe and I are going out for a meal.
Wait, no! Please, don't leave me, son! I'm begging you!
I'm blocking you.
Apparently, my mother-in-law had always been prone to making preposterous misunderstandings. You might be wondering why her husband would marry someone like that in the first place. But Kevin said she'd always made lighthearted, self-deprecating remarks about her crazy side, which probably caused him to drop his guard. To everyone's surprise, she actually admitted fault after the divorce had been finalized. I'm sorry I've caused you so many problems. So with that, Wilma was officially a divorcee. She'd been a stay-at-home housewife until then, which meant things got a heck of a lot tougher for her after being abandoned by her husband and son. Now she had to support herself. She burned through the alimony money she got in the divorce in a heartbeat, and before long was staying with her little brother and his wife as their live-in parasite. Within a week, she started bullying his wife, but her little brother found out almost immediately, and with that, she was back out on the streets. Due to her total lack of work history, the best job she could find was in a supermarket, and her salary is about as low as it could possibly be. Last I heard, she was living in a store cupboard at work. Something tells me that personality of hers is gonna see to it that she remains lonely and isolated until long after she retires.
OMG, Casey! Guess what just happened to me? You'll never believe it.
What? You've just discovered the joys of moisturizer? Because I really hope that's why you're so excited. Your skin could really do with it.
What? No. Darren's just proposed to me! Isn't that great?
You're engaged?
Yeah! I'm so happy right now. I literally can't stop smiling.
Uh-huh. That's great.
Geez, I thought you'd be a little bit more excited for me. I mean, it's not every day that your little sister gets engaged, you know?
Yeah, well, to be honest, I'm kind of annoyed.
Huh? Annoyed? Why?
Well, let's face it. I'm so much prettier and smarter and generally just better than you. So how come you're the one who's getting engaged and I'm still single?
Well, maybe it has something to do with that terrible attitude of yours. I don't think any man wants to be with someone who's so big-headed and enjoys putting other people down to try and make themselves feel better. I mean, I've literally just told you that I'm going to be getting married and all you can think about is yourself. It's so selfish of you. I thought that you'd be happy for me. Instead, it almost seems like you'd rather I'd not be engaged at all.
Well, to be honest, yeah, I'd rather you weren't engaged. As the little sister, you really should have waited until I was married before you did anything. I mean, it's only polite to do so. It's almost like you're trying to rub it in my face that you're getting married before me. As the more successful and older sister, you really should have talked to me first, before anything happened. I'm kind of hurt that you didn't.
Are you serious? You seriously think that I should have asked your permission to get engaged? Just so that you wouldn't feel bad? That is so self-centered of you.
Well, why else would you tell me that you're engaged?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe because I wanted to share one of the biggest days in my life with my sister? You know, I don't even know why I bother. You couldn't even be bothered to meet my partner. You still don't know what he looks like. Honestly, I thought that this might make you open your eyes and decide to be a nice big sister for a change. To actually support me in something that is incredibly important to me. Guess I was wrong about that.
Well, excuse me for not being ecstatic that my little sister is getting married before me. And no, I haven't been bothered to get to know your partner because I really couldn't care less what he was like. I bet he's just some mediocre, ugly loser who works a dead-end office job and earns like $15,000 a year. Why would I want to associate myself with someone so low-class like that? I'm a doctor, Lucy. I have standards. Something you apparently don't have. I mean, what kind of name is Darren anyway?
You know what? Whatever. Forget I even said anything. In fact, forget that I'm even getting married because you're definitely not invited to the wedding.
What?
If you're too good to even meet my fiancé and get to know him, why should I invite you to a wedding that, in your words, is just going to be filled with low-class people anyway?
Fine then. You're doing me a favor by not making me be there. I won't have to be bored all night long with a bunch of idiots hitting on me.
As if they'd hit on you.
Besides, I bet you're just scared that I'll show you up on your wedding day. That I'm going to look so much better than you that everybody's eyes will be on me and not you. Hey, you're probably scared that even your fiancé will want to be with me as soon as he sees me, and that he'd ditch you in a heartbeat for me. Maybe I should come, just to see that happen. It would be hilarious.
He would never do that. He loves me. Besides, you might look pretty, but as soon as you opened your mouth, he'd see just how ugly you actually are, and he'd run a mile in the opposite direction just to get away from you.
Ugh, well, you're stupid.
Great comeback.
Shut up! I'm done talking to you. I hope your wedding is awful and that everything bad that can happen does.
Thanks, Casey. And I hope that I never have to see your face again, because you're definitely not my sister with how horrible you've acted basically my entire life. I don't need someone as vile as you in my life.
Well, I don't need some needy, bratty little sister who's always hogging everyone's attention in my life.
Hogging everyone's attention? Seriously? That's you.
Whatever. Leave me alone.
Gladly.
Lucy, how dare you?
Mom?
How could you do that to your sister? How could you be so horrible and thoughtless?
What are you on about?
You're getting married! How dare you?
You're not seriously angry that I'm getting married, are you? You're my mom. I thought you'd be happy for me.
Well, you thought wrong. What you're doing is so incredibly horrible to your sister. I demand you call the wedding off immediately. You need to wait until Casey is married first. Only then can you even think about it yourself. You're the younger sister, so you need to do as me and your big sister say.
No, I'm not going to call off my wedding simply because you and Casey are acting insane. I don't have to listen to either of you, and I certainly don't have to wait to get married until Casey has. What I do with my life is entirely up to me.
Why, you ungrateful little girl. Look, your sister has you beat in every aspect. However, if you get married before her, then all you're doing is making her look bad. Like she can't get a husband. I don't want that happening. Understood? The only reason why she hasn't got a husband yet is because she's been focusing on her career as a doctor. It's incredibly difficult work, and she's needed to give all of her attention to it. She shouldn't be punished for doing that. After all, what have you done with your life, huh? You're nothing but a failed painter with nothing to show for it. So, just accept you're nothing compared to her. Call off the wedding and let your sister do what she needs to, okay? Maybe you could even introduce your fiancé to Casey. I'm sure they hit it off. I mean, she has the looks and the brains for it. Surely he wouldn't be able to resist her charms.
No, that's not happening. And unless you have something nice to say to me, don't bother talking to me again. God, I can't believe it's taken me this long to see just how toxic you both are. I mean, I always knew that you preferred Casey over me, but to this extent? It's ridiculous. I'll tell you what I told Casey. Don't bother coming to my wedding because you're not invited. I'm just thankful that my mother-in-law is so much nicer than you.
Well, she must be an idiot then not to see just how pathetic you are. I don't even want to come to your wedding if it's full of morons who actually like you.
Nice, Mom. Real nice. I'm done with both you and Casey. Have a nice life, because I definitely won't be keeping in touch.
Likewise.
Hey, Mom, can you actually believe that Lucy seriously hasn't invited us to her wedding?
I know, right? I mean, how ungrateful can you get? I brought her into this world.
I haven't even met her fiancé.
Me neither.
Well, shouldn't we get to have a say about who she's marrying? She is my little sister and your youngest daughter, after all. We should be making sure that whoever she's marrying actually knows what he's getting into, and that I'm still available if he'd rather be with someone much better.
LOL, that's true. Maybe you should make a surprise appearance. Just to make sure that everything goes well, you know? Wouldn't want something bad to happen on her wedding day.
Oh, totally. And if I just so happen to show up in a wedding dress that's much nicer than hers, well, it's just an accident. No one told me that I couldn't wear it.
LOL. Oh, you should totally do that. It would be so hilarious. And if I just accidentally managed to ruin her dress by spilling something on it, well, it's just an accident, isn't it?
Too true. Okay, so it's sorted. We're actually going to do this?
Definitely. It will teach her to try and show you up. I'll have to remember to bring my camera so I can take a photo of her face when she realizes what's happening.
If you do that, then I might just have to have it printed out for myself.
Okay then. I guess I'll see you there.
OMG, Lucy? How could you? Why didn't you tell me who you were marrying? Oh God, I'm so embarrassed. Not to mention that my job is basically over. I can't believe what just happened. Lucy, you need to answer me right now. I need you to set things right for me.
Huh? Casey? Why would I do that? I mean, you literally just showed up at my wedding wearing a wedding dress to try and show me up. Why would I help someone who was actively trying to ruin the most special day of my life?
Because you never told me that you were marrying my boss. If I had known that, I never would have done anything like this.
No. Instead, you just have tried to steal him from me, right?
Honestly, yes, I would have. You don't deserve to be with someone like him. He's cute and incredibly wealthy because his dad owns a series of hospitals, one of which I work at. How on earth did you even meet him? Let alone get him to fall in love with you?
I met him when I injured myself about a year ago. I had to go and get stitches at the hospital, and he was the one who took care of me. We began talking, and after I was discharged, we decided to go on a date. Things just went from there.
Well, why didn't you tell me that was who you were marrying?
I asked if you wanted to meet him. You said that you couldn't be bothered. I figured, why should I continue to tell you anything about my life when you clearly didn't care?
But now I've made a complete fool out of myself by turning up in a wedding dress at my boss's wedding. Everyone's going to think that I'm some stupid idiot. Either that or a really horrible sister.
Well, they wouldn't be wrong on either accounts, would they?
Lucy, this isn't funny. You need to sort this out with them. Tell him that it was just a joke or something. That you dared me to do it.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to make excuses and save your backside when you had every intention of ruining my wedding. You've been nothing but horrible to me my entire life, and now it looks like karma's finally got you back.
I could lose my job.
Well, that's your fault, isn't it?
Oh God, the owner of the hospital is calling me. This is bad.
Oh, my new father-in-law? He's a nice man. Fair and doesn't take any rubbish from anyone. Good luck trying to wriggle your way out of this one.
Lucy!
I've got a wedding reception to get to, so I'm going to go. Oh, before I do you reckon Mom would give me the photo she got of your face when you realized what was happening? I bet it's hilarious.
This isn't funny.
Yeah, it kind of is. Anyway, my new husband is calling me, so I'm going to go and enjoy the rest of my day with the man that I love. Have a nice life, Casey, because this is the last time I'm going to talk to you after what you and Mom tried to do today. Goodbye.
No, wait, Lucy. This is your fault, so you need to sort it out. Please.
The rest of my wedding went on without any hiccups. It was one of the best days of my life for many reasons. Not only did I get to marry the man that I love, but my sister and my mom both got what they deserved for all the times they were so vile to me. Casey was fired from her job at the hospital as, unsurprisingly, she should have actually been at work the day that she crashed my wedding. She had lied about being ill to take the day off, something that her boss was definitely not pleased about. As for my mom, she was so humiliated that she couldn't go out without one of her friends commenting on her behavior and what had happened. They all sided with me and told her that what she tried to do was completely disgusting. Casey is currently looking for a new job, but considering that all of the major hospitals in the area belong to my husband's father, it's not going as well as she'd like. As for me, I'm living happily with my new husband, and we're even expecting our first baby. We honestly couldn't be happier.